back as promised. Crystal Moon here again with my Pinto Arabian Ash Cloud. I'm going to show you guys a little bit about her. So right now we're going to go ahead and watch her idling. Right now she's grazing. And the Pinto Arabian, the idling is a lot better than most of the horses because this is the second newest release. However, this horse doesn't do the nose scratching or anything like the Connemara's. My favorite part about the Pinto Arabian idling is that for some reason every once in a while they'll just close their eyes and stand there, almost like they're like drifting off into a sleep or they're just daydreaming. Some of the things that the Pinto Arabian does while idling is she grazes. Every once in a while she'll close her eyes, she'll flick her ear, she'll flick her tail. Whenever the Pinto Arabian drops her head and grazes, she actually drops her tail as well, and I noticed that recently. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the gait. She does run very well, and by well I mean it has a beautiful appearance. The horse overall is very beautiful, but I do very much enjoy the gaits. They're very well controlled. There doesn't seem to be any hoof overlapping like some of the newer breeds that we've had issues with. Her rearing isn't as dramatic as I thought it would be for this breed. Not as dramatic as many other breeds, but that's okay. Moving on to hairstyles, I'm just going to show you real quick what they look like. I kept the original haircut for right now. I do not like the short haircuts. The plaits do show more neck detail because you know it has that pinto in it. It shows more pinto detail. However, I don't like the short hair. It just doesn't look right to me. I'm actually still on the fence about buying the longest haircut. I actually like the way it lays. The forelock doesn't look as natural as the original haircut, obviously. But I still think it looks pretty nice, and you know I'm a sucker for the long manes. It doesn't make the tail too bulky, so I would definitely recommend either the original haircut or the longest haircut. Moving on to the Baroness's racetrack, she did exceptionally well. She has wonderful agility. I would actually dare to say that she moves better than the Hanoverian, and she seems to run just as fast, if not faster, than my Morgan. She did beat the record, and these are records that are, yet they are beaten again and again by the next horse I do the trials for. But the fact that certain breeds do beat the records even after they've been beaten multiple times shows how amazing they truly are. So we're back to the cross-country race here. I know you're very familiar with this race, one of my favorite ones. If you notice here really quick, she doesn't slide almost at all. I really like this breed. I like how it runs. I even like how it back kicks here. If you look at its kicks as it's running in the back, it is almost kind of like a scamper kick, which I know a lot of players complain about, but I think it gives it that doll-like appearance. It gives it that doll-like appearance that I love. But yes, she didn't slide at all. You can see very well that she is very well on the ground. She's not slipping and sliding over the terrain. She's actually in it, on it. I've also noticed that this breed takes falls very well. So you just see as we went over the hill, she actually didn't even stall. She didn't slow down. She didn't slide. She just like, okay, here's a hill. I'm going to slide right over it. Here we go. Just going to run right over it. So again, no new record on this race, but she did fantastically. So here we have the barrel racing. She did do pretty well on this, but I actually think that the Hanoverian ran this race the best so far, but I'll keep up to date with that, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and give her a 9 out of 10. I know that's a very high rating, but I honestly didn't see any trouble with her. She's actually pretty fast, too. Whenever this breed first came out, there were a lot of players actually saying that these horses were beating the records that they've had for weeks, months in one race. This horse, and I really think it's not faster than any other horse. I think the agility and how it moves is actually how it affects that. And I would really recommend this horse. Next week's horse is actually going to be a surprise. I have a couple horses trained up and lined up, so I'm going to go ahead and randomly pick one. I'm probably going to do a throwback to one of the older ones, to be honest. I keep doing a lot of newer breeds, and I wanted to do a mixture here, so I'm probably going to do an older horse. But again, it's going to be a surprise. I'm not going to let you guys know, but it will be from my Horse Trials #1 intro. If you want to review that video I made, you can see the horses that are eligible for these videos that I have ready. So I'll see you guys next week.